What's up, you fabulous forkers, and welcome to Where Does Food, a food history podcast that tells you about the history of food. I'm one of your hosts, Elle.
And I'm your other host, Tim. And we're here, and we're back, and it's always a delight. It's actually a morning record, which is super weird for us.
We literally rolled out of bed today and hit the record button. Welcome to our life, yeah.
Yeah, usually we record not late. I wouldn't say late is the word, but definitely
Late.
nighttime.
I'm washed, that's late.
And now it's like bright in your room, and it's like kind of bright in my room, but I have the blinds closed, so it's interesting.
What is this light? What is this ultraviolet ray coming in?
I don't know if we've seen each other so clearly in years. Because we're little fucking dungeon rats that record this podcast.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it's good.
The only way to be. Speaking of being dungeon rats.
Yeah.
All right, Tim, we're adding heat. We're adding some heat to some corn kernels, and we're talking popcorn.
Nice. I love popcorn.
It's fun. I love popcorn too. Okay, you answered my next question. I was going to ask how you felt about this snacking staple, but you said love it. Do you have a certain type of popcorn that you go to?
The popcorn in my mouth. That's the kind that I'm very fond of. Any popcorn that is in the face. No, I don't do a lot of pre-popped. I'm actually not the biggest fan of pre-popped stuff. Sorry,
bougie
smart food white cheddar fans. It's a good product. I do like it.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah,
I like to make my popcorn, so I usually just get like unpopped kernels. I pop them myself.
Yes,
I put some salt. Sometimes I do the little popcorn seasonings, but most of the time it's just like salt and like whatever fucking seasonings I want to put on it. It'll be like sometimes I'll do like salt and tahini. Sometimes I do like
interesting.
Yeah, sometimes I do like a salt and chili powder, maybe a little bit of MSG. You know what I mean?
Yes, throw that MSG in there. Absolutely.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? If I'm feeling extra fancy, make the popcorn in the way that you're referring to, and then put some melted chocolate on top. But don't even wait for don't even wait for the chocolate to melt though. Sometimes I'll just or harden, I guess I should say. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't mind bagged buttered popcorn. I feel like I just left like a whole section of like microwavable popcorn out of the thing. I do like that stuff. Big fan. I do that. I sometimes if I'm just really not feeling making my own popcorn, I will absolutely just like buy a little 4-pack box of that. It's great. And I don't get the small bags either. I unabashedly eat the whole big bag. I don't give a shit.
I agree with that. It's become my new work snack. And I'll just
I
smash a whole bag.
100 calorie. I don't give a fuck. I don't care, dude. Get out of here. Give me that movie theater butter. Give me the whole bag. 800 calories down the fucking pipe.
It's fine.
I give a shit.
So I found out in this process that movie theater butter can have up to about 3 days worth of trans fat in it. Like if you go to the movie theater, you get the movie theater butter, and I was like, oh shit, this is 3 days worth of, but like it's good. It's definitely one of those.
I'm sure we'll get into it, but I do know that they make like coconut oil, like butter flavoring oils. So you get like a healthier oil option. It just tastes like butter. It just has like the essence.
That buttery.
It's like, it's ish. Yeah. Butter adjacent.
No, well, yeah, we'll kind of touch on it, but absolutely, it's definitely been part of the transformation of popcorn here and like more recently that we've seen. Like we've always had like the bags of popcorn that we're referring to, like you go put it in the microwave, pop it, you eat it. But now you go to the grocery store, you go to the gas station, you even go to some concession stands, and you're gonna see like that pre-pop popcorn, and they come in like an assortment of flavors. So yeah, we'll briefly touch on that, but yeah, absolutely.
Right. I don't just to make everything clear, just in case anyone listens to this that isn't in America. In America, we like to squirt butter on our popcorn.
We love a lot of butter. A lot of butter.
Yeah. There's like a butter pump station at movie theaters. And I just want to get that across. I feel like that's a necessity. I feel like people need to know that we live it up, man.
We literally have seasoning stations.
We do not give a fuck.
Consists of massive pumps of butter.
In some theaters, like some of the nicer ones, it's more than just the butter pump. It'll be like 2 types of butter, chocolate. It'll have like a cheese pump over there. Like, it's just got the whole 9. It's got the seasoning shakers as well.
Oh my gosh.
You essentially buy a $10 box of popcorn and you go to the fucking side over there and you just fucking, you just Chef Boyardee the shit out of
that. What a pastime.
Hey, dude. It's wild. That's such an insane thing to do.
I didn't.
No, it's great though.
Dude, I will be frank with you, and I'm frank with the audience. When you made note of, like, we have pumps of butter in our movie theaters, like, didn't think anything of that because that's just the norm growing up. But I'm like, that's not like a normal thing. Like, you're not just supposed to have like pumps of food, like condiments, but like not butter. Anyways,
just pumps of butter, man. It's good.
Chug.
Fuck.
So Tim, corn is made from one kernel that can actually pop. Zimesa verta. It sounds so fancy. It's a flint kernel, and then there's 6 types of just corn kernels. So out of 6, what do you give popcorn, Tim? Pretty short scale. Bang for your buck.
Yeah, it's a small scale. It's a small scale. I'm going to add decimals. Man, this is hard because we've already done potato chips, and I'm trying to think. I really do love popcorn. I might love it more than most people, in the sense that, like, I respect it alongside of chips.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna go 4.3.
I'll take that. And it's gonna be my mission to bump it. I think I will.
I'm gonna go 4.3, which is a good fucking score.
It's a pretty solid score.
Overall, it's a solid score. People that really know me might think that might be a little low because of how much I talk about how much I love.
Well, you're trying to be more harsh, so.
Yeah, I am. I'm trying to level the playing field here, and if I'm in the store, I'm thinking to myself, if I go down the snack section, what am I really looking for? Yeah. And it's not necessarily popcorn. Like, to me, popcorn's not really a cheat snack. To me, it's not. I don't want to say cheat, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's not like the fucking Dorito.
Don't hate on my Doritos, but no.
No, Doritos are a godsend.
But yeah, you're right.
Like, if I'm be honest with you. If I'm going down the chip aisle,
Doritos.
There's 2 places I stop. It's the Kettle Cook, and if I'm not vibing with it, I move on down to the Dorito section, and I get me that big ass bag of Cool Ranch Doritos, and
that Cool Ranch,
and it will hit the spot
every time,
every single time,
every time. That's such a good choice. I'm glad you picked that. So popcorn or Doritos.
4.3.
4.3. Yeah. Not bad. Not a bad starting point out of 6. Okay, so 4.3. So let's take the wrapper off the bag, Tim, and let's see what's inside this culinary delight.
It's good. Hey guys, welcome to the ad section. I'm here to tell you real quick about Anchor by Spotify. You may have heard us talk about Anchor at the end of our episodes, is because Anchor is the platform we use to distribute our podcasts. It's totally free. It helps us distribute our podcasts to different platforms. That's how we're on Apple Podcasts. It's how we're on Google Podcasts, CastBox, you name it. They've helped us do that. You can record directly on the app, on the webpage. So you don't even need a super fancy setup. It's super straightforward, totally free. So download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started on your podcast or whatever you like to do. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of the episode.
Popcorn, is that your favorite? I do. Because they pop. Pop, 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 pop.
So from our previous taco episode, we know corn pretty much hails from Mexico, Central America, and then fossil evidence shows that corn was popped as early as 4,700 BC, more so usually in like these clay, and then they would use like heated sand. So keep that in mind.
Okay. Yeah. You said they were popping corn when?
4,700 BC in Peru, to be exact.
God damn.
No. Yeah, because corn's been around forever. It's incredible.
Yeah, and what we also learned in our chocolate episode is that they believe, like at one point in Central America, they believed that they were derived from corn. They believed that they were corn people. So
hell yeah, great recall, Tim.
That's not an insult.
No, that's
just it's just incredible. Yeah. So we've talked a little bit about.
We know a little bit about
corn.
corn. Yeah, absolutely. So Tim, it's time. It's science time. It's science.
Oh,
time.
what?
Yeah, we're having a legit science time.
Science time with Phil. Science time.
Let's talk about the corn kernel in and of itself. The kernel's hull contains the hard, starchy shell, aka the endosperm, that contains roughly about 14 to 20% moisture. That's important because that moisture is going to turn to steam when the kernel is heated. So, under these heated conditions, the starch inside will start to gelatinize, it'll soften, then it becomes pliable. So, as the pressure starts to build, as the fire starts to burn, as Disclosure likes to say, that steam builds and that hull will finally rupture, yielding that expansion to be about 20 to 50 times of its original kernel size. That's pretty impressive. 20 to 50 times.
Yeah.
Heat, like anything that we've learned as a part of the baking process, the cooking process, it's super important. If it's too hot, kernels are going to burn. It's not going to be a good time. If it's not hot enough, the kernels won't pop and it's just going to be sad kernels. So, in case you're wondering, that's about 135 PSI when that thing's popping like that.
I was actually wondering that. I'm so happy you have the actual PSI. I don't know how they measure the pressure coming off of that.
It's about a temperature of 400 to 460 Fahrenheit is when you're gonna see the kernel. So
yeah,
135 PSI, yeah. And then your temperature, boom. As the steam is taking the kernels through this incredible sauna, the hull ruptures, which causes a sudden drop in pressure inside the kernel itself. So then that rapid expansion of steam, the steam expands the starch and the proteins of the endosperm, and that's what forms that like white, airy, delicious goodness that you see on the kernel. And then the starch, the protein polymers set, and that's that crispy goodness. And boom, that's the popcorn part. It's a double science time, Tim. It's a science time instead of science time.
Double science time! We've never done that before. Science time.
It's like adjacent to. So the popcorn smell, which I thought was really cool. So it's actually unusually attractive to human beings. Like it has certain chemical components in it that we inherently just love the smell of it. Doesn't matter if we are hungry. Doesn't matter if we're not hungry. Doesn't matter if we want popcorn. We smell it, the aroma, it drives us crazy. And like other food industry, like other products in the food industry that they've tried to do, like they will try and replicate the chemical compound that comes from popcorn and put it in other foods.
Oh, so it's like the cucumber effect for colognes and perfumes. Yeah. Where like every cologne and perfume has like a baseline of cucumber because it's the most like neutral, pleasant smell.
Airy smell, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's like I don't know if it's the baseline of everything, but I know it's very common. Even in non-fruity smelling ones, because it's just a clean smell. And I got it. I have to say, I don't eat a shit ton of cucumbers. I do like them, but every time I prep a cucumber at work, I am always just like, damn, that smells good.
I mean, I think they're onto it. Yeah,
every single time. And it's the same with popcorn for sure. Unflavored, unseasoned, bland popcorn. When it's popping, it smells incredible.
Yes. Tim, I'm so glad you brought that up, because this idea, like the chemical reaction that's happening in our brains with popcorn, it's not inherently happening just because it's not like because it's buttered it's popcorn. Like this is just like oil, butter, and some salt, and like just the actual popping process. Yeah.
And you mentioned the temperature; it was like 420 to like 450 or something like that.
400%.
That is actually a pretty high temp. That's a pretty high temp. So like a lot of the oil isn't like just pure, because butter's not a high temp cooking thing. You don't use butter that way. So like a lot of the oils are, again, butter enhanced, like butter flavored or something like that. But the oils are something like canola or vegetable or coconut, something that is a higher temp cooking oil, because it's, because if you try to make popcorn at home and you put butter in the pan, you're just going to burn the butter, and that's going to taste fucking disgusting.
You're not going to make caramel popcorn on that.
No. So you need to just use a neutral oil. I use sunflower oil, which is just
because you can just add melted butter in after the fact, right? Oil. Yeah, right.
Yeah, all the flavoring just
Come on.
It's that So that's fun little. So if you're making popcorn at home, don't use butter, because you'll burn it. So
that's a good fun fact. That's a good like way to end double science time right there.
Yeah. Temperature cooking.
Ingredients to use in high heat.
Yeah, no one. That's why you never see fryers full of butter. It's not a cost thing, partially a cost thing, but also like butter doesn't fry.
Butter doesn't fry, so it doesn't work out like that. So, as we know, foods were spread as explorers traveled up and down the coast, as well as colonization. That's just the reality, as we've kind of talked about, especially with corn.
Yep.
Yeah. All foods. Yeah. But yeah.
That's how civilization works, apparently.
From the story of food, yes, apparently. Weird. Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this first kind of pseudo theory. So, legend has it that the first original settlers of the United States were making popcorn, but there's just really not enough evidence to like definitively say that. Sorry, Jamestown. I don't think you could have been, but I don't necessarily think you guys were popcorn.
Maybe
they were maybe corn on the cob.
Maybe corn.
But
on
I don't
the
know
cob.
about popcorn.
Considering that we struggled, I don't know, just like tilling and like farming, probably not making popcorn. I don't think.
Yeah, I really feel like the closest thing to popcorn probably should have been like kids just eating kernels and then getting yelled at for eating kernels because they weren't supposed to do that. Like, I just really kind of feel like that was probably more so the thing, but that's inherently still not popcorn because it's not popped. It's just the kernels.
Oh, when was Jamestown founded?
What,
1607.
Oh my goodness, I was a whole like 100 years off. Jeez,
you were way off.
I'm like, hang on, I was mixing up the 7 and the 6 in my head. No,
fucking generations died.
Literally.
Yeah. 1607. That's Jamestown. That's when it was founded.
I want to double check on that. So no.
You can absolutely double check. Google it right now.
Google it. It wasn't the Mayflower.
Oh fuck. I
don't know that. I know. That's what I'm trying to see. I'm confusing myself.
The Mayflower was 1620.
Dang.
What? Okay. Yeah. Right. I mean, that's the thing, right? Is that Jamestown was the first one. So.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they probably all struggled with farming and shit.
Corn. So yeah, we don't really have enough evidence to support that. What we do know is that French explorers wrote of the Iroquois people popping tough corn kernels in pottery jars filled with heated sand. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, it sounds like the thing we were just talking about.
Earlier. So I wanted to clarify because I was curious. The Iroquois-speaking Five Nations League was made of the Mohawk, Seneca, Cayuga, Onondaga, and Oneida peoples. They became known to the English as the Six Nations once the Tuscarora joined in 1792, and the Six Nations is considered one of the world's oldest participatory democracies.
Damn.
Which I thought was really fucking cool.
Yeah, wow.
I know. Yeah, I feel like that was something I learned like way back in the day, and then just I was like, oh yeah, that's a really
I
cool
don't
thing
think
to
I
learn.
ever learned that. That's amazing, though. I do love that.
The nation itself, the Iroquois Nation, it spread throughout the Great Lakes, and so think like upstate New York, Vermont area, and Quebec as well. So their idea is that popcorn was more than likely popped there in terms of the United States and North America as well, because you got Canada in there too.
Yeah.
And so this was around the 17 and 1800s.
Okay.
So they were just out here exploring the East Coast and were like, popcorn?
Yeah. Yeah. Popcorn, an American pastime.
So, Tim, you could really say from here the popularity of popcorn really popped off.
Did it pop off? Fuck.
It popped off.
Yeah, did it pop
I'll log off now. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
the American Revolution really kicked it into high gear with popcorn. It was
That's what it was. It was used as rations. No, but we have seen that before though. We have
yeah, that really wouldn't surprise me, right? Like if it was fucking George Washington's just like
get paid him
fucking throwing popcorn at his dying soldiers.
Thanks, George. So
yeah, thanks, George.
Here in America, popcorn was a breakfast cereal that was consumed by Americans in the early 1800s and generally consisted of popcorn with milk and a sweetener of some sort.
What?
So you're going to talk about breakfast, Tim.
What?
Yeah, we were out here having some popcorn for breakfast.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, that's...
With some milk and sugar.
That's good, man. I like that. I mean, I guess popcorn's neutral enough, but it would be soggy.
I mean, isn't this like not the earliest version of cornflakes?
Yeah, it is.
Like the earliest reiteration of cornflakes. That's what we're going to go with.
It's like the earliest form of a breakfast cereal, essentially. So
wild.
We didn't we didn't just like the Earth didn't just wake up like throwing milk on grains. Like that's not a thing. That came natural, I guess. But at some point we started, you know. And I think popcorn makes sense. It's neutral enough. Like it's just got this kind of corny, nutty flavor. And yeah, you throw a little bit of sugar on it. Throw it in some milk. There you go. Call it a day.
Just a little bit of milk. Oh, yeah.
It'd be soggy.
Some sugar milk.
Fucking A. That would be gross.
You'd have to eat it so fast.
No, they probably just like liked the texture.
This was too hard because they probably had shitty teeth.
Yeah, it's like cold porridge.
Compared to...
Yeah, something like that. You know how American Revolutionists sounded?
Hey, write into the pod if you guys have ever tried some popcorn cereal.
Yeah, if you take from here.
You like fucking...
Yeah, from here, just put some popcorn in a bowl, throw some milk on it, and eat it.
Because, you know, when they do... they do revolutionary reenactments. Why don't we also do food reenactments as well?
Yeah, I agree. We should. Just like...
Like, I understand we were making cornbread over a cast iron over the fire, but let's...
if we had a budget, that's what the show would be.
Tim, we're about to start doing pitch meetings. I don't know what to tell you. We're about to tell Will.
If we had a budget, you think we'd be making a podcast? We'd be on video, and I'd be cooking weird shit. That's what would be happening.
Food costs are just too incredibly high.
Oh my God.
We can't.
Thanks, Biden.
Yells at Cloud. Okay.
I
need that sticker.
Old man yells at Cloud.
That's what I feel like he does. Anyways, so we're getting to one of my favorite parts of the story here, because now it's really, this is where we're really taking off.
This is where Ben Franklin comes in.
He actually attaches the kernel on the end of the kite, and the electricity from the lightning
popped the kernel,
makes the first popcorn.
Yeah, and that's how popcorn was invented, by Ben Franklin.
And that's how popcorn was invented.
Ben was known as Lightning Popcorn Maestro at the time. That was his nickname, and he walked around. That's how he was addressed. Yeah, he invented electricity and popcorn at the same time.
Yeah,
and bifocals and the $50 bill. He invented that as well.
And thanks for coming to the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
You want to know?
Ben Franklin invented the world, I think. I think there was nothing. It was blank.
That's what I got.
It was it was flat.
He founded Paris.
It was a flat slate of it was like a preloading screen into a Minecraft world, and then when it fully loaded, Ben Franklin was there.
He was there. I think that's what I read.
Yeah. And he had I mean, he was still balding. I think he was always bald, but like he had
he could never fix that. Yeah.
But he had the rest of it though was long, luxurious hair.
The king of lettuce.
Yeah, like L'Oreal shampoo, like shiny as fuck.
He was the model for all the commercials.
Yeah.
Actually.
Thanks, Ben Franklin. The United States of Ben Franklin. Okay, I'm done with the bit. You can
that has a good ring to it.
You can keep going. What? Okay, so now it's your favorite part gets interesting. Here we go.
You're fantastic. No, okay, yeah. So we're in the 1890s. Our guy Charles Cretors, he's the one that's credited for making the popcorn maker. So my guy, he owned a candy store in Chicago, Great American City. And he created a number of steam-powered machines for roasting nuts, and then applied that technology to corn kernels.
That's what's
Brilliant.
up. That's what's up. What's his name?
Charles Cretors.
Okay, good on you, Chuck. Good deal.
Chuck. So by the turn of the century, Cretors had created and deployed street carts equipped with steam-powered popcorn makers.
What the fuck? So, he is the steampunk. He's like...
He's the original steampunk.
Trawling around fucking
I'm so
1890 Chicago.
Well, you see, because now we're rolling up to 1893, the World's Fair in Chicago.
Oh, fuck.
So, yeah, that's this World's Fair.
Yeah.
That, like, almost everything, like, good that's happened in food and, like, modern, like, that's happened here.
Yeah, I'm starting to really starting to doubt it at this point.
You think so? Too many good things happen at this World's Fair?
Like, there's no way everything can happen.
There's just too many good things.
There's no way that all, what? We're all just, like, walking around and, like, the ice cream cone was made there, and the fucking, like, French's yellow mustard was debuted there. Like, get the
vibes. Immaculate.
Like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
talk about immaculate. So, Cretors machined popcorn in a mixture of 1/3 clarified butter, lard, and salt. was the biggest thing. Of course, there's some oil, but yeah, that was delicious. I mean, it sounds so good.
Yeah.
Another thing with this World's Fair is F.W. Ruckheim introduced a molasses flavored candy popcorn. This is pretty much caramel corn.
Yeah.
That's what we would consider that today.
Made with molasses, though.
And then
molasses. So it's not as good.
It's not as good.
Yeah. Molasses.
The color's there,
yeah,
but it's
molasses
not
is fine, sweet. But it's definitely like got a little bit of a burnt thing going. That's because that's what it is. But either way,
like you said, it would be good for a cookie, not necessarily popcorn, though.
Yeah, but it also in a cookie, it gets balanced out with like sugar.
Exactly.
Yeah,
yeah. You know. So I'm like, oh. So then this dude's brother, Louis Ruckheim, he slightly altered his brother's recipe, and then he introduced this little thing in 1896 called Cracker Jack popcorn.
Yep, I knew it. I felt it. I knew it was coming. Yep, Cracker Jack fucking popcorn.
Cracker Jack. So like this is really when Americans were like, oh wait, this is a perfect snack. Comes in a small little box. It's salty. It's sweet. It's got a nice crunch to it.
You get a prize.
And there's a prize.
I'm gonna go down to the old water fountain over there and get me a Cracker Jack.
All right, son, get me a newspaper while you're at it.
that'll be a penny, good sir. And yeah, you got your Cracker Jack. You open it up. Dang. You had like a shitty little toy. It's great. Great Depression era shit too.
It's great. Oh yeah. If you're wondering, they took the prize away in 2016.
Yeah, they did like QR code bullshit.
Yeah, it's a bullshit. Yeah, so they give you like a QR code to scan, and then it's like some mobile game, which I'm like, what the fuck is this? That's not a prize.
Yeah, it's gross. So, they should just bankrupt and fucking go away. Like if you're gonna take away the one thing that made Cracker Jack even remotely cool, get away from me. Get away from me. Get away. Get absolved. I don't want it. We don't need you anymore. We don't like. What are you doing? Oh, you're doing fucking sweet popcorn. Cool. Everyone does that now. Get out of here. Fuck out of my face, Cracker Jack.
Who cares? So what?
Fuck you. That makes me so mad. Fuck you. Bad taste in my mouth. Sorry.
Which sucks because Cracker Jack's pretty good. But yeah,
I'm really passionate about weird things, and that's one of them that makes me angry. Like, why would you do the one?
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you take away the one thing that like makes you. Like, I don't know. Fuck off.
Quite literally, yeah.
Go fuck yourself. Get out of here.
It's just shitty.
Imagine if Hostess came back.
Get out of here.
Imagine if Hostess came back without the Twinkie. Like,
I know.
They just came back. They just came back, and they were like, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. Be like, why? What?
Be like, I'm not eating Hostess either, so that's wild.
It's probably actually though. It's probably because they are struggling with money and they can't afford it because no one fucking eats that shit anymore. So
I know, cost to benefit ratio mixed with supply chain. It's just not.
Oh, you want to spend $2 on stale sweet popcorn? Come down. It's your Cracker Jack. That's how they sit.
Even have a prize.
That's how you still have to buy it, by the way. If you ever see it on the stores, you have to talk like a fucking.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to talk like a
early
20th century person.
From the box. Like, are you okay, sir? Why, yes.
How much of that was dialect and how much of that was like just performance from like radio talk shows and shit? You know what I mean? I think about that. I think about that all the time. Like, were people really walking around going, how you doing this? Or was that just like straight performance radio?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
No, I think that actually makes more sense to me. Yeah.
Could you imagine if that's how we talk to each other? Hi there, how you doing? Like,
I don't know.
Who would get on like that? It's just
no one. Yeah. No one.
How's the job been treating you? Pretty good. All right. Like, that's insane. That's a fun voice to do.
I want that to be
that's it.
No, I was like, that was very good.
I'm doing that for the rest of the podcast. So that's my voice now. That's how I answer back. Continue.
We should see how it tests. See how it goes. Okay.
Yeah, we have to run an A/B polling. You got to know. Like we'll do one episode. It's full, just normal voice. Second episode, it's radio host voice from the early 20th century.
Get your cop, boy. All right. So through the 19th century, popping the kernels was achieved by hand on stovetops. What you were talking about earlier, Tim. Mm-hmm. So kernels were sold on the East Coast of the United States under the names such as pearls. During the Great Depression, popcorn was fairly inexpensive at about 5 to 10 cents a bag, and it became super popular because, like, it's the Great Depression, so there wasn't really too much spending money going around.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, during this time, many businesses failed. Of course, the Great Depression. So, the popcorn business, though, they thrived and actually became a source of income for a lot of struggling farmers of other different types of industries. The farmers of the Redenbacher family were able to cash in on the profitability and the stability of popcorn.
Damn.
During World War II, Sugar rations diminished, and as did that, so did candy production. So Americans compensated by eating 3 times as much popcorn as they had before. The snack was popular at theaters, much to the initial displeasure of many theater owners, which is shocking to me. Mm-hmm. So the thought was that popcorn distracted from the films.
Yeah, right.
So they were like,
it's kind of a louder thing, you know.
You're munching, you're moving the bag around. Some of y'all don't know how to chew, so like food was falling out of your mouth. Like, I understand that. I get it. So theater owners gave lobby privileges, quote unquote, to vendors, which allowed them to sell their popcorn in the lobby of their theater. It was more likely like on the street on the way into the movie theater, but vendors didn't mind though, because people going in to see the movies were buying popcorn before they came in. And then people that were just walking down the street, they were just grabbing a snack to walk and talk with. So they were totally cool with it. It worked out for them. They just had to pay a daily fee essentially for being out there.
And then once that popped off, theaters were like, man, we're really leaving money on the table. We should make it where no one can bring anything from the outside in and just make it ourselves. Yeah.
Tim, yes. So in 1938, a Midwestern theater owner, Glenn W. Dickinson Sr. So he installed a popcorn machine in the lobbies of his theaters. Mm-hmm. Since popcorn is making more profit than the ticket itself, his production assistant, R. Ray Aden, suggested that Dickinson purchase popcorn farms, and that was able to help keep his costs of productions down.
I love it, man. Yeah, I love it.
So yeah, that's that. I know you were maybe being ironic about that, kind of, but not.
I was being serious. Yeah. I was just delivering it in a tone. Yeah, no, of course.
That's literally what happened.
Hey, I've been capitalist my whole life. I know how it goes.
I know how that should go.
Yeah, I know how it goes. You know, I get business. I understand.
I get business. I understand.
Hey, call me Mr. Business.
Mr. Moneybags.
Yeah, Mr. Business. So, Mr. Business here, coming at you live.
Oh. All right, there we go. We've got a bit. We're good.
Yeah.
That's it.
We're not live.
That's it.
But yeah.
Mr. Moneyback. Not yet. Not yet.
Don't put that in the fucking ether. That means I have work to do. Don't do that.
So we're fast forwarding. We're fast forwarding a lot, kind of. Not really. We're going to like 1970. So 1970 is officially
cool. 40-year jump, not a big deal. Let's go.
40-year jump, not a big deal. Not a lot happened.
We got out of the Depression. We went through wars. We went through another war. Yeah,
like it's fine.
Yeah, we got gas shortages around the corner. We're good. Don't worry.
Wait, you're talking about now or
no? The 70s.
Oh, sorry, sorry, just making sure. Oh yeah.
No.
Okay, so
the first Jimmy Carter. You remember that was trending? How Biden was being called Jimmy Carter too because all the shit going on.
Wait, was he really?
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe he'll tweet about it.
Yeah.
And then not do anything. Okay, so in 1970, Orville Redenbacher namesake brand of popcorn was launched. This officially changes the game of popcorn. So Easy Pop marketed itself as an all-inclusive popcorn maker. You simply just move the container over a heat source and the popcorn pops.
Yeah.
Flavored. That's it. Bada bing, bada boom. Then came the brand that I'm more familiar with, Jiffy Pop.
Okay.
So this is an at-home popcorn product that use the same like quote unquote all-in-one philosophy. This like between the Easy Pop and Jiffy Pop, these are the two things that help just expand popcorn into the at-home market, as well as in 1970s microwave ovens just became more and more popular in homes. It wasn't necessarily something that people of the elite were able to afford. Like middle class people were able to afford appliances like microwaves, and because of that is what helped create the boom of being like this great household snack.
Yeah, microwaves, man, they changed the game. Which weirdly enough, we haven't talked a lot about microwaves yet, and I'm kind of surprised.
I'm sure we could do a whole thing on microwave foods.
Yeah, we'll probably do a thing on the microwave in general. So
hell yeah, okay.
Have you seen old microwave like TV adverts? Like the old like
maybe I have, but like
you know how like they did. How there's like I'm trying to think of what it's called. Doesn't matter. Like the really long, like 30-minute segments where they're trying to sell you on a product.
Oh, yes. Okay, I got you now.
The microwave went through that. Like it went through that process where it was like this brand new cooking thing. Like, and some of the early shit was just like cook a whole rotisserie fucking chicken in it. Like yeah, like it was like Thanksgiving dinner's way easier with the microwave type shit. Obviously they didn't sound like a guy from the 90s on a kid's TV commercial, but that was the gist of like how the microwave was originally pushed, was that it was like this all-in-one cooking appliance.
Wow.
And you didn't have to do like anything. That's why like all the buttons on there, like the defrost button and like all that shit comes from its original kind of like,
genesis.
Yeah, like the what they were selling you. And now it's just like,
I had no clue.
Yeah, and like, I still don't know how to operate microwave menus. They're very confusing. You can put like weights and shit. You can put like that's what it's meant for. It's meant to like if you put the defrost mode, those numbers, it's asking you how much fucking like is your beef weighing. Like, and you have to like put it. I don't know how to do that shit.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes so much sense.
And then if you press the popcorn button, it'll give you an option of like the size of the bag of popcorn. So you have to choose the right size of the bag. If you choose the bigger bag, it'll burn it. If you choose a smaller bag, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Okay. Who uses the microwave like that? I usually just
one uses the microwave.
I usually just press the number and the time starts. And if I'm like, oh shit, that's not done, I press the add 30-second button. You know how much I love that add 30-second button? It's unreal. I'm wasting all of my microwave talk on this episode. But the add 30-second button is life. Sometimes I forget to press the number. I'll just be like, I love the little beeping sound, so I just all the way to like fucking 4 minutes if I need to. I don't care. Yes, I know pressing the 4 is 4 minutes.
Interesting.
But I don't care.
But it's not as satisfying.
It's more satisfying.
Mine doesn't do that.
Really?
I can only just do the 30. Yeah.
Wow.
And then it's just like 30.
I had one microwave that only did 10-second intervals when you did the more button. When you did the more button, 10 seconds. The fuck is 10 seconds going to do? Well, I'm not melting cheese.
What is 10 seconds going to do?
Okay. I'm heating a fucking hungry man, and I need it to be not frozen. So get it together.
10 seconds ain't gonna do shit. I'm glad microwaves are getting better than that. So yeah, we should definitely have a conversation about that.
Okay, Thank popcorn. You. Man, so, I am all over the place today with this episode. So we have 1970, we got Redenbacher, we got all this stuff, microwaves are happening, and scene.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it, yeah, because it's like, to that point, like if you want commercial grade popcorn that you get in movie theaters, you can't fucking make that on the stove. Like you have to go get it made by these like specially designed machines that are made to pop popcorn in the way that you are so satisfying. Another, I know we talked about caramel corn, kettle corn.
Yeah,
that's a huge like. I personally started liking kettle corn as I got older, so I was a little bit late to the game. But yeah, kettle corn. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's popcorn. It's cooked with white sugar, salt, and then it's cooked in usually a large copper kettle. You were saying, Tim?
Yeah. Oh, I was just gonna say that it's a bummer that so much kettle corn is like a pre-bagged product, and that you don't really get. A lot of people don't get the chance to have it like fresh made. But I'm telling you guys, if you're ever at any venue or anything like that, I think I went to Austin City Limits one year, and they had a popcorn vendor out there.
Oh, hell yeah.
And dude, you want to see just...
I bet it was so good.
You want to see just like... And it looks so satisfying because they're cooking it. I mean, it's called kettle cook because it's literally kettled cooked. And they're cooking in this almost big wok/kettle combination because they have to cook so much of it. And they're just like... It's so cool. It was awesome. They're just like slinging this big thing and they're just throwing this shit ton of sugar and salt. And I'm telling you, it's the best kettle corn I've ever had in my life. It was their own recipe. It was fantastic. So yeah, truly an experience and way better than any sort of like generic kind of pre-bagged. Like this is kettle corn. Like yes, kettle corn's fine because it's salty and sweet, but like a fresh made kettle corn is out of this world. Super good.
It's so and I think that's like you just made that distinction because it's like people have probably tried kettle corn and not liked it, but it's like you have to give it a try when you back like. Yeah, like you said, a venue, a fair, like we're about to go to ACL next year if they have it.
When it's hot,
like,
yeah,
it's so good. Yeah, it's just not the same. But yeah, so kettle corn, it's definitely up there, top tier if you're able to actually get it like freshly made, but still pretty good. If you need a belt, try the Corn Belt. So most of the world's popcorn is grown now in the United States, Corn Belt. So it's Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, Michigan, Missouri, Nebraska. And OHIO. So
Corn Huskers.
Props to you guys. Corn Huskers.
Fucking Corn Huskers.
I know. Dude, so what I will say.
Isn't their mascot a corn cob?
Yeah, it's literally a corn cob. It's a corn cob, like, anime.
Which
like,
is the best thing to call anyone you don't like, by the way.
Yeah, corn husker.
Don't call, so if someone's being stupid, don't call them like an idiot or anything. Just start calling them a corn cob. That's great. It's the best.
I'd be offended if you called me a corn cob.
Exactly.
Think,
Imagine you doing a bad job and I was like, wow, you're being a real fucking corn cob.
Like, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, shit,
corn
buddy.
cob.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, which is funny because I went to Chicago like last year and they like popcorn was everywhere and I just didn't understand why. And now I'm like, oh,
right.
This is why.
Yeah.
Apparently popcorn is a product of one of the great American cities, Chicago. So
corn
makes sense now.
Yeah, corn is really has globally turned into a great American food. We do some of the best of it in the world. So kudos to us, man.
Kudos. Who would have said?
Yeah, we make some good.
And
corn.
then to your point, we always have. I guess ironically enough, we just always loved corn here in North America. Popcorn now it's evolved. You kind of touched on it. Popcorn kind of took on this like really quick pseudo like, oh, it's a healthy snack for you. There's some calories, like there's some sugar, but like for the most part, if you make your popcorn at home, like it's a good thing to snack on. And so from there, it's now turned into like, oh yeah, like you have like your like kernels and that like the all-in-one. Put it on the stovetop and it cooks everything. You've got like the way you do it. You throw some kernels in, some oil, throw some salt on there, let it like cook, pop, good to go.
Yeah.
And now we have, or like again to that point, you go to some venue, you go to some event. There's gonna be popcorn that you can buy, movie theaters, whatever. And now you have the pre-packaged like Skinny Pop esque brands that you can go in the store and get.
Yeah,
and
you could just buy outright.
Get repackaged popcorn. Yeah,
and they're not bad.
So
they're not bad. They're just I don't know. They're not as good. I like my popcorn hot, man. I like. Yeah.
But okay, Tim. So we're at 4.3.
4.3.
4.3 out of 6.
Man, I'm going up to 5.1.
Let's go. Let's go.
Literally solely on the fact that my man Chuck was walking around 1890s Chicago with a steampunk popcorn maker, I think.
The original steampunk.
That's my worldview of it. That's my
steam pop, if you will.
Yeah, steam pop. That's what he called it, I think, actually. That's literally that's the reason, is because of Chuck. Chuck brought it home for you.
Hell yeah.
I love that. That's insane. And I think we talked a little bit about it with like when the first like toaster was made. I don't know. The more we do this podcast, the more my sense of time has gotten a lot better about like what exists where in the time frame of the world. But no, 1890, my first gut reaction was like, oh, what the fuck, that's way too early. And I realized like, okay, it's like on the edge of the 20th century. So like, yeah, there's a lot of shit going on. I mean, we were creating fucking refrigeration at the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we had a lot of shit going on.
You're right. It's very it's so like, it's very disorienting. I don't know if it's just because like the way we are in time or how like history presents itself. Because it's like literally we were just mentioning it earlier, like something is just presented as is our entire lives, and that's just how it is. And then we go back through these essentially just like the history of food, and just tells a broader story about not only the food but what was going on in the world, what people were dealing with, like it's been disorienting in a good way though, because it really is just like wait a second. To your point, like it's like the turn of the 20th century, like a lot of so many industries shot off at that point. But like you hear 1890, you're like, that's old.
That's old. But in 1890, like the ice making industry was like a fucking multi-million-dollar industry. And then refrigeration.
There's monopolies.
And refrigeration was literally about to edge them out. It's wild. But yeah, that's the episode.
That's popcorn, man.
That's popcorn.
We popped all the kernels. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta end the podcast because I gotta go work. Guys, that was Where Does Popcorn.
Tim.
This is Where Does Food. You can check us out on our website, wheredoesfood.com. We have one. You can go there and listen to our episodes. It's great. You can also find us on anchor.fm/where-does-food. And that is where you can listen to the podcast and also support us. I have a supporter button. Also, the music in this wonderful podcast was done by my friend, my enemy, my rival, but my companion, Austin Martin. He did the music for all of it, so everything you're hearing, he did that.
Kills it, crushes it.
Yeah, you can listen to his music on Spotify and Apple under Meridian Sky. That's what he goes under. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple. Actually, weirdly enough, you can find us there. And guys, you can rate us. That'd be awesome. It'd be great. It's an easy way to support. You don't want to give us money? Great. Give a shit. You could just give us a rating, and it helps. It helps a lot, especially on Apple for sure. Getting ratings on there helps with their algorithm a ton. So I don't really know what Spotify is doing in that regard, but they did roll out rating on Spotify as well. So if you want to give us a rating, you can.
Much appreciated.
Very much appreciated. You can find us as people and humans on Twitter. You can go to @WhereDoesFood. That's the podcast Twitter page. We post dumb shit there and episode details. And you can also find me @TimWehunt. And you can find Elle
@LChapo 3_ between the L and the Chapo.
Yeah. You can also find all this stuff. There will be links, hot links for all of it. You can just click on it and it should go to the page. Listen, sometimes they break.
Pretty cool.
and I don't know. but bare minimum, you're gonna see the spelling if the link broke. So,
that's fair.
Yeah.
That'll help. Yeah, that's super helpful. Copy and paste.
You'll also be able to see all the show notes in there as well. And so you can check out where we got this information from and read up on it and get your own takeaways, and don't let us influence your mind, because we're just a couple of woke mind virus people. So
yep,
we're woke. Mm-hmm. We're woke moralists.
100%,
as they call us. painting our own view on the past. I'm kidding.
I think that's yep.
This is all dumb, and I'm just talking now. Either way, that's it. That's the podcast. Have a good one. That was Popcorn. I never know how to end these. Have fun.
Have a great day.